Try.
Yeah, it is.
All right, questions for Coach Moore?
You decided on a quarterback for second?
No, we haven't any practice yet. No, we'll make a decision probably closer to game time. We'll see how all the young men's practice, and we'll see who'll give us the best chance to win.
Is Cunningham all right? Is he?
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Having played in the Alabama-Auburn game, what's different about rivalry week?
I think it's all about pride. You know, I think you can take records and throw them away. Traditionally, when two teams in the same state go against each other, it become a pride deal, and it's something that you get to brag about for 364 days a year if you win.
Has this rivalry, did it surprise you once you got in it, how heated it is, how much it means to the fans?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're in a major city like Louisville, and then you have Lexington right up the road, so you got to figure that it's got to be a heated rivalry. And then being in the game last year, it's definitely a heated rivalry. There's no love lost between the teams, I don't think.
The cliche about throwing out the records, is that especially true? You guys have talked about how important this game will be to you. Is that especially true given the way this season's gone, just treating this as its own week that you can win?
Well, I say that because I think it's true. I think anytime you play a rivalry, the guys on the other side of the field are going to play harder. They're going to play, because it's about pride, so you can throw the records out. Regardless of how the season is going, it still would be the same way if we was undefeated.
What stands out about Benny Snell? You faced him last year.
I watched him a lot today. I watched him a lot yesterday. I think he's really worked on his patience. He's just not ramming it up in there. He's trying to find the open gap, and then he hits it. He has no problem bouncing the football. He moves well. He's physical. He drives his legs on contact. And then, he's catching the ball out of the backfield very well this season. So he's become he's always been a really good back, but I think he's more complete.
Your defense has had significant issues stopping the run. Why do you think that is, and how do you get better in this final week?
Well, hopefully we got to tackle better for sure. We haven't been totally finishing off plays with good tackles, and we got to get a lot of hands to the ball, especially this week, because we know that they're going to feed the ball to Benny, and which they should. And if you look at the way we stopped the run this season, then I will be running the running back as well. But we got to come up with a plan to make them have to beat us throwing the football.
Tez said that last week that you guys would treat this week like a bowl game. Is that how you're treating it?
Well, of course we're not going to treat it exactly like a bowl game because you're at your own home site. But it's treated in a bowl game because we know this is the last game of the season. And normally Louisville's in a bowl game, and this has to be our bowl game because it's the last game of the season.
The game last year, I think there was a scuffle that broke out, as is common during these rivalry games. Will you say anything to your team about the potential for that, trying to control the emotions?
Well, you have to. You have to address it prior to the game because it's going to be an emotional game for both sides. I'm sure they don't like Louisville, and I'm sure Louisville doesn't like Kentucky. So you have to address it because you create opportunity to give other team penalties when you get involved in that type of situation and stuff. So we got to stay away from it. We have enough penalty as it is that we're trying to clean up, and to give us a chance to win the ball game, we got to stay away from penalties.
Lorenzo, the penalties, is it a little bit of everything? I mean, is it focus? What goes into that, especially a couple of the, like jumping off sides or not having enough, or having too many guys on the field?
Well, again, the jumping off side part is definitely concentration. And we have to do a better job with sideline management as coaches, substitution. And that's something that we will address throughout this week, substituting, doing it in practice so that they're used to it when you get to the game. And so the jumping off sides or holding penalties are definitely stuff that you can clean up as a player because it's all mental.
Do you think that your guys have the same energy that they started with last week?
You know, today will be the first day I've seen them in an official team meeting. I saw them last night at dinner, but you know, I think they'll definitely have the same energy that we had. But again, we can't have it for a half. We're going to have it for 4 quarters.
You introduced so much, changed a bit at the beginning of last week to make sure that you have that energy on game day. Will you change more this week?
Well, I won't change more, but we'll definitely do. Might not have done the same situation, but we'll create more opportunity to create energy for sure.
When you look at Kentucky's defense, obviously they're one of the top defensive units in the country. You know, what do you expect? How do you anticipate attacking them to try to find a weakness?
Well, if I had a way to attack them, I wouldn't tell you. But, you know, again, they got, you know, if you look at this team, Kentucky is probably where Louisville, a couple of years ago, is probably where Louisville is now. A young football team here in Louisville. Kentucky's a veteran squad. They got 8 seniors on defense that are starting. And those guys have, and I think 5 of them are 5th-year players, which means they've been in the program, in the system a long time. And when you can keep that continuity, you're going to have a good defense. And that's why they're playing great. You know, they got a lot of good football players on defense. I think their entire secondary is seniors. And then, you know, Josh Allen is the key to their defense. You know, he can destroy an offense, he himself. And so he's a great football player. So they're senior laden on defense with 8 starters. And so that's why I think they're playing very, very well, and they understand the system. They've been in it, most of them, for quite a period of time now.
It seemed like you had a lot of guys go down with little injuries in the second half. Do you know about their statuses yet? Dorian and Dee, and I think there were a couple other ones too.
Yeah, I think all those guys are fine. You know, again, we'll see how they work out today when we have shorter practice today, but I think they'll all be ready to play.
Do you think that you'd be full
Yeah.
strength?
How aware do you guys need to be where Josh Allen is? I mean, you've coached guys like that who can impact the game, so much.
Well, I think we'll be not very smart as coaches if we don't know where 41 is. You know, again, he can destroy an offense. You know, I was blessed to coach Jadeveon Clowney, and you had to know where he was on offense, or he would destroy your game plan. So you definitely got to know where Josh Allen is.
What kinds of things does he do? I mean, he can obviously he leads all-time leader in sacks there too, but not just that.
He's good against the run. He is against the pass. You know, he's a complete player. You know, I think definitely this young man will be a potential high draft pick, and he's showing it. He plays hard. You know, you never see him take a play off. He's always he got a motor that runs 100 miles all the time. So he's a talented young man.
It was Lonnie's first time calling the plays this season on Saturday. What did you think of how he did?
Well, I thought he did well. You know, I thought we opened the game very well, and we moved the ball down the field, and we started hurting ourselves. And I thought he did a good job of calling plays, and hopefully he'll get even better after having one game experience on his belt.
It is a young team, but you guys have some seniors that will have their last games, and some guys that have meant a lot to this program over 4 years. How difficult is it for a senior class when you go through a year like this, and when there's not a lot of them?
You know, I'm sure it's very difficult. I'm not in those guys, 11 guys' feelings, but I know that the majority of those 11 guys are trying to lead the younger guys and not worried about the record, but getting them to buy into the system and to continue to work hard. You know, D. Smith, who played for me when I was coaching the safeties, is every day you're going to get D. Smith's best. And I think a lot of those guys like Henry, I thought Henry had a good ball game last week, played well, and I expect him to do the same in his last ball game here on Saturday. But I think those older guys, Lucas, he spoke to the team after the game Saturday, and I think they want to try to lead the younger guys and try to go out on a positive note. So they're not putting it on the remainder of the team. They're trying to step up their gameplay as well.
Coach, you had a couple of guys miss the game last week because of a violation of team rules. Were there a number of changes in your team rules?
Well, my team rule is very simple. Do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, how it's supposed to be done, every single time. And that's whether it's class, that's whether it's study hall, whether it's tutorial system, whether it's specialist, whether it's meeting time.
Will you be comfortable having served as a head coach for a game? Is there things that I mean, like maybe say the handshake after the game?
Yeah, that's no doubt. When I was on the TV show on Sunday, I was explaining to Kent that, you know, when you're assistant coach, the game is almost over, so you go and you put your headset up. So I did that this Saturday, and didn't realize the head coach was almost all to our sideline before I shook his hand. So you definitely, it's some things you have to learn being a head coach and coming from a position coach, no doubt.
Prior to this season, I don't think anybody expected anything worse than maybe 6-6 or whatever. When you look back at it, do you think the Alabama game started a lack of confidence, or is it just the youth of the team? How do you explain how this season has gone?
It's really hard to explain, you know, but I kind of compare this team to the 2016 team, 17 team that I was blessed to coach the young men at Fresno. We had a young group of players, and if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 seasons, after the season I was there, we won them 11. They won the Mountain West Conference side the last 2 years. They were just won it this past Saturday night. I think it's hard to explain, especially at a program like Louisville, to only not even win a conference game. That's not something that you should do. You should be able to beat at least one of your opponents in your conference. And so when you look back on this season, it'll be something that we have to sit back and evaluate. How did it really happen that way?
Do you think the Alabama game?
No, I actually thought the guys played fairly well at Alabama game, but it's kind of ended up being like the seasons went. You know, on offense we move the ball and then we shoot ourselves in the foot. We'll get a penalty or we'll get holding or we turn it over. And then defensively we'll play well a series or two and then they get a big third down and then it started to snowball. So it's kind of how the Alabama game actually is indicative of how this season probably has went. But I thought the kids played fairly well for who they was playing against.
It's fairly close still just before halftime and gave up the touchdown right there. And the second half really got away. What happened at halftime? Anything in particular that you can point to say this is why it wasn't as good in the second half?
No, I just think, you know, you got to come back out with the same energy that you had the first half. You know, just because you had a break at halftime, you got to rechannel that energy. And you got to go take the adjustments from that the coaches are going to make to attack what NC State was doing on offense and in defense, and then go out and come out with the same emotions that you had at the start of the game. You know, the game is broken into 2 halves. And, you know, no matter what the score is in the first half, you still have to play the second half. And we didn't do a good job of playing the second half. You know, at 17-3 at halftime, I felt good about it because we had the ball. You know, it's not something that we're used to doing around here of deferring when you win the toss. And so we deferred, and we knew we had getting the ball coming out. And, you know, we was hoping something positive would happen on offense to get us. Now we could be 17-10 or 17-6, even if we kick the field goal, and that could get the energy going again. And so we just didn't come out with the emotion that we should have come out with like we did at the start of the game.
Do you have any feel for this Saturday? If you start with the same energy, do you have any feel for how to prevent the same thing from happening again, where the energy tapers off as the score becomes an issue?
Well, we'll address it for sure, but you never know how it's going to happen or they're going to respond. But we definitely will address that today in the team meeting.
To beat them, will there be a scenario where you'll need to force some turnovers, low-scoring game, high-scoring game? What's the best scenario?
Well, I think we got to play well in all phases, and we definitely turnovers are always a big key to the ball game. And you know, if we get turnovers, then you give your offense more opportunity to put points on the board, and then we can also get turnovers and score ourselves. So it'll be crucial for us to get turnovers in this ball game because they're really, really good on defense. And if they, you know, I think 11th in the country in defense, we have to beat them in a low-scoring game to me in order to win.
Anything else?
What can you say about the fan support that you've gotten being the head coach, and also what does it feel like to be the head guy calling the shots?
Well, really, it's not about me, and I've said it from day one, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You know, I appreciate all of the positive comments that fans have said to me about, you know, what they've seen, the little difference that they've seen in this program, and you know, but it's not about Coach Ward. It's all about the young man. It will always be about the young man when it comes to me. And I'm just blessed to be the one that Vince chose to lead these guys for 2 weeks.
All right.
Thank you.